Colonel Rob Maness has a lifelong record of providing dedicated service to this nation. Having worked his way up from the enlisted ranks to full colonel, he served our country for more than 32 years. He has served as a bomber squadron commander, bomb disposal technician, Joint Chiefs of Staff operations officer, assisted the national security team with the campaign plan for the global war on terrorism. He authored the first theater nuclear war plan and served as the vice commander of America's largest airborne intelligence wing. Colonel Rob Maness is a true American hero. This is Rob Maness Live.
In continuing our coverage of the race for Harris County Judge, we welcome Marty Lancton, the president of Houston Professional Firefighters Association and candidate for Harris County Judge. Marty, welcome to Hello Houston.
Thank you so much for having me. I love the new studio. I haven't been back since it's been remodeled, so it looks amazing.
Yes, and if you would like to join the conversation, you can give us a call or send us a text at 713-440-8870. Our new studio is definitely a vibe, Marty.
Yeah.
It is nice.
Okay, Marty, we'll start you right off here at the obvious first question. Sure. Is Harris County ripe and ready for a Republican county judge?
I think Harris County has been ripe and ready for common sense to reign over the county judge position for a very long time, since Judge Ed Emmett left. And it absolutely is. I think what people are looking for is people that have relationships that can get the resources to Harris County. We understand better than anybody the partisan politics of the day. But the reality is that the role of the county judge is to get the resources to the people that we swore an oath to protect. And that is what I will do as Harris County Judge. If you are constantly fighting with your partners on the regional level and the state level, that means resources can't get to Harris County. That is precisely why I am proud that Governor Greg Abbott has endorsed me. And that means there's trust in a relationship that is built. I think the Speaker of the House, Dustin Burrows, who is a good friend who has endorsed my campaign as well, has said it best when he came down. He said 40% of the issues that they deal with at the legislature are because of the things going on in Harris County. That's a problem. And while we're focused on all of the noise, the people that we're supposed to be taking care of aren't being taken care of. Flooding isn't getting taken care of. Crime and public safety isn't getting taken care of. Infrastructure isn't getting taken care of. And something that nobody talks about in this race, but I will, and that's the need for good paying jobs. We have port expansion going on. We have a number of things in the last 3 decades. We were told, the only path is to go to college. We need good trade, blue collar worker jobs. We don't have enough people to fill them. And when people are making the money that they need to take care of their families, they're here in Harris County to be a part of this amazing county that is resilient in every way.
Show, and we're live on Worldview Tube and our X Spaces simulcast. Well, what matters in local government? Safety, transparency, infrastructure, and jobs. America is back to work under President Trump, but down in Harris County, Texas, as you just heard, it's the 3rd largest county in the entire country. I think it's the biggest one in Texas. Families are still getting crushed by the same old Democrat machine, skyrocketing crime, roads that flood every time it rains, billions in tax dollars vanishing into wasteful spending with zero accountability, and good-paying jobs disappearing while politicians pat themselves on the back at how good a job they're doing. And the current leadership treats Harris County like their personal piggy bank, soft on crime, hard on taxpayers, and completely out of touch with the working men and women who keep the community running. Well, it's time for real change. Time for a leader who's spent his life running towards danger while others run away from it. Time for someone who actually understands what it means to serve, protect, and fight for working families, not just talk about it at fundraisers. And that man is my guest today. You just heard from him there, Patrick Marty Lancton. He's a native Houstonian, 20-plus years as a firefighter. He's president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association, and a guy who's poured his heart into charitable work for first responders and local families. He's not a career politician. He's a public servant who's had enough of the corruption, the secrecy, and the failed policies that have turned Harris County into a national embarrassment. Marty's running for Harris County Judge to deliver exactly what you heard. The people are demanding it, too. Total transparency with every tax dollar, real investment in infrastructure that keeps families safe from floods and traffic nightmares, and policies that bring good jobs back to Texas workers, not illegal immigrants, of bloated government programs. We just watched that intro video, and if you're in Harris County or anywhere in Texas, you already know this is the kind of leadership we all need right now. Marty, welcome to the Rob Maness Show. They say that he's logged in, so we'll check the link. Okay. So that we will get Marty with us here in just a second here. Of course, we have technical difficulties. This is a live show, ladies and gentlemen, and we need to be patient with all this technology when it doesn't work like it's supposed to, which is not infrequent. You know, I flew technically advanced aircraft, especially the latter part of my career, and you always have to be ready for when the tech breaks down or doesn't work quite right, and that's what's going on here today. But you know, this move to put a Republican as county judge in Houston, Texas, and Harris County there, I think is a great idea. There have been Republicans in charge before. When we get Marty on here, we'll get him to talk some more about how he feels as a non-politician running for an office like this. And you'll also hear him talk about the Speaker of the House, Burrows. Speaker Burrows has endorsed him too, in addition to Governor Abbott. Marty, welcome to the Rob Maness Show.
Hey, Colonel, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Hey, man, all the right people are endorsing you. I see my friend Michael Berry, who supported me in my U.S. Senate campaigns, is endorsing you. Governor Abbott's endorsing you. Speaker Burrows is endorsing you. Why in the heck do you want to be an elected official and go into politics, man?
Carl, that's a great question. I think when you live a life of service, the reality is that at the end of the day, I grew up, and one of the mottos at the high school I went to, straight Jesuit, was being a man for others. And I believe we got one life to live, and we should do it in service to others. And I got asked about 2.5 years ago by leaders within the party, statewide, local, and they said, listen, we need you to think about it. I think I initially told them, let's go find somebody else. And they kept at it. And after a lot of prayer and thought, I said, we took down one corrupt administration, and it's time to correct and get Harris County on the right track and actually start serving the people.
Yeah, absolutely right. And this is where the rubber meets the road. You know, you weren't on yet when I announced the title of the show, and it's what matters at local government level: safety, infrastructure, jobs, transparency on where all the money's going. Those are the things that Americans really care about when it gets to that level of government, right?
Well, I tell people all the time, I know that the polarizing politics of, federal and state, but I'll tell you where it impacts people's lives the most is local. What affects you and your families every day. And everything you just mentioned is exactly what the role of county judge should be. It should be focused on crime and public safety, and it should be focused on making sure that we support our law enforcement. I'm proud to be endorsed by all of the law enforcement agencies that go out there and put their lives on the line every day to serve us. I'm proud to be endorsed by the firefighters, paramedics, and first responders. And not only is crime and public safety number one, and we actually have to start addressing it, but part of public safety and the issues and challenges of Harris County is about flood mitigation, infrastructure, disaster response, disaster recovery, and those things are absolutely critical to the daily lives of the people that we serve.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. When you're talking to folks in law enforcement, what do you've been campaigning for a while now? I mean, the primary election's coming up in less than a month, I think, if I remember correctly.
Early voting starting in about a week.
Yeah. So I know you're talking to line officers that are out there, either in the police department, sheriff's department, probably some federal folks too, because they're usually voters in these places. So what are you hearing from the officers?
I think it said best. A good dear friend, David Cuevas, who's the executive director of the Harris County Deputies Organization, representing the brave men and women out there. He said it best. We need somebody that we can rely on, that we can trust, that we believe in, and that can actually lead. There are people that talk and there are people that do. I don't really like to talk a whole lot. I just like to do. And what law enforcement needs is somebody that stands up with them and not with the criminals. And what the law enforcement has told me is that you've got these criminals that continue to get locked up, get released on bond from these rogue Democrat judges, and the cycle continues. Not only that, but you have seen the current leadership not invest in the sheriff's agency, not invest with the resources that they need, but they'd rather spend money on social programs that may, in and of itself, may be a worthy cause, but nothing to do with the role of county government. And the reality is that until we get back to what the residents of Harris County expect, we don't need to be focused on other things that aren't our role, because it's clearly failing. And one of the things that the biggest thing is, the victims and their families. When's the last time you've seen the county judge stand up for the victims and their families? There is an organization here called Crime Stoppers. And under my administration, we're going to be working with Crime Stoppers and with the victims' families to advocate for them, not to advocate for the criminals.
Yeah, fantastic. So that's a big indicator right there of why I think it was the Speaker of the House, when I was prepping for the show, said something to you about 40% of the challenges they deal with in the Texas legislature come out of Harris County and Houston.
Yeah, not all for good reason either.
Why do you say that? That's my question.
Because it's the truth. I'll tell you is that Dustin Burrows will probably go down in history as one of the best speakers because he understands what needs to get done. And when he came down and do an event for me, and that really says a lot. It means a lot, because this is about relationships and getting resources. And when he came down, he said it best. He goes, 40% of the things we have to deal with are because of what Harris County is or isn't doing. And that is not how the third largest, most populous county in the nation, the largest in Texas, needs to be operating. And it's a constant cycle, and everybody's tired of it. And so not only are people tired of it that are on the Republican side, the Democrats are tired of it, because everything is about a fight, and Harris County residents lose every single time because they're picking a fight with the state that, one, isn't morally, ethically correct, in my opinion, and lawfully it's not correct. And the state has to come in and then tell them how to do their job. How about we have a county government that's responsible to the people and that can actually advocate for the residents of Harris County and what they need? Because right now it's not happening.
Yeah. Yeah. If the Speaker of the House is saying 40% of what they deal with is what that county is either doing or not doing, that's a huge indicator. So before we go to the break and then come back, just explain to folks what a county judge is in Texas. I'm in Mississippi. We have county supervisors here or down in this part of the state. So what is a county judge and what's your role going to be?
Well, basically, to kind of tailor it down, the role of the county judge is basically the mayor of the county. A little bit different than how the mayor role works here in the city of Houston. But, the role, most importantly, during disasters is to be the emergency management in charge person that is telling residents what to do during disasters. It is to advocate for the resources in Harris County, to operate at the commissioner's court as the chair, as the person in charge, and somebody that has the relationships with local mayors, local officials, regional and statewide and federal to get the resources where it needs to go.
Well, fantastic. Now it makes sense. When I was looking at it before, it wasn't real clear in the media reporting and the way things are laid out exactly what that role was. So that is.
Say some people probably don't know still what it is that are currently in it. So.
Yeah, but that's very good. All right, we got to take a commercial break. When we come back, I want to dive deeper into this fact that you're not a career politician, and because I think that's important. It's important for people to understand what motivates somebody that has been a public servant and decides to go into try to go into elected office, because there's a big difference. We'll be right back with Marty Lancton. He's a candidate for Harris County judge in Houston, the area of Houston, Texas. Third largest county in the state, biggest one in Texas. This is a big job. It's probably more like a governor of some states. We'll be right back.
So I think that's just it with Marty, is that he's not a politician. I wanted this more of the leaders of the company because obviously how much time I spend with you guys and what it is that for us publicly supporting Marty is what's best, I think, for the city and the county that we're in, and I think it's what's best for small businesses like us. And I'm really thankful to have met him, over the last year or so. And I think he's going to be able to do a whole lot of good things for the people that we care about and support every day.
Welcome back to Truth Thursday here on the Rob Maness Show. We're live on Worldview Tube and our X Spaces simulcast. And my guest today is that man right there, Marty Lancton. He's the president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association. He's running for county judge in Harris County, which is the county that Houston is in. And he's not a career politician. That's why I wanted to show you that clip, because the guy saying that's not anybody that's on a campaign team. He's a guy at an event, one of the citizens there that Marty's asking for their vote. And Marty, welcome back. As you have turned towards elected office, you've been a public servant. I've had this experience myself, lifetime of military service, and then went into elected office shortly after I retired. And there's a big difference. What are you seeing that is striking to you the most as you've had this experience?
Politicians don't like to tell the truth, and somebody that lives a life of service, the only thing that they are ingrained to do every day is to tell the truth, to protect lives, to serve the community, serve the people we took an oath to serve. Listen, in this environment, you're right. I'm not a career politician. I can tell you, though, I've taken on many career politicians. A lot of them don't like me. The reason is that because we get things done. There's a difference between being effective and just regurgitating rhetoric. And being somebody that has a career and that has chosen to continue to serve in this capacity is not something that I take lightly. It's not something that I went out and said, gosh, I want some more responsibility and a title. It's been the honor of my life to serve alongside the men and women of the Houston Fire Department and to serve as the president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association. And I have seen what and how government doesn't work. In fact, if you go back about 10 years when I was elected as the president, the firefighters were not being taken care of. We're not taking care of our first responders. We had a nearly $5, $6, $7 billion budget in the city of Houston. And the excuse as to why they couldn't pay firefighters in the third largest municipal fire department in the nation was because they said they didn't have any money. And I said, well, maybe if you stop spending money on things that you're not supposed to and start focusing on the core critical services that taxpayers expect, and maybe you'll find that. And, lo and behold, when you have people that have been in politics for so long, they're either bought and sold or they have figured out how to game the system. And it's very, very difficult for them to tell the truth. And I always tell people, too, it's amazing in politics now. People believe that everything is so absolute all the time. It's not. That's not how you fix critical problems. That's not how you do it in emergency response. It's not how you do it in life or in challenges, the ones that the firefighters faced. The reality, though, is that what are you willing to do to affect change? How far are you willing to go? Bad people can do what they do. Who's going to stand up to them? And so ultimately, at the end of the day, what stays laser focused is, what is your mission? What are we supposed to be doing? We're supposed to be serving those people that we took an oath to protect. And that's what guides me every day. That and my 11-year-old son, where I tell people I want to leave this county better than when I came into this world. And all that I've seen throughout my life is continually to go down. We have to fix that. It's time for leaders to lead, and it's time for people that don't want to make things happen to get out of the way.
Yeah, absolutely right, man. The thing that surprised me the most is the way I grew up, and I'm sure you're like this too, is you're taught to meticulously take care of the taxpayers' dollars when you're making decisions on spending those tax dollars to achieve whatever mission you've got and everything. And politicians tend to take the exact opposite. Well, I got this big pot of money. Let's see how I can spend it.
It's not their money, right? So
yeah. That for me was the biggest thing, and it sounds like you're having a similar experience. But they have to not like you because you're doing something that is used as a measure of objective achievability for a politician type, and that is you're raising money. I think if I understood my research correctly, you have raised more money than the politicians have in this race, so you're leading that fundraising race.
Yes, the credit goes to the amazing team and to all the people that are out there supporting. We're building a coalition unlike people have seen. And the firefighters are not. They're used to taking on career politicians that don't want to tell the truth. And so the credit goes to all the people that are coming together, because the coalition that we are forming is something that people haven't seen. Our focus is about being effective and getting results. It's not about trying to convince somebody that the earth is flat. We have a mission to get done, and that is shown in the campaign reports. That shows with the level of support we have from grassroots leaders, from civic leaders, from precinct chairs, from elected officials at all levels, because I've spent a decade representing the firefighters, and the one thing that I've always committed to is telling the truth. I think the truth is, whether it's good or bad, is always something that is freeing. And the people that are concerned about the truth oftentimes always kind of make up stories. And I'll tell you as an example, and that's not just immune to public. When I was elected as the firefighters president, there was a reason why the firefighters hadn't been taken care of, and the people that were supposed to be representing them weren't doing their jobs. And when I took over, I can tell you, I took over. I first look internally, because it can't be everybody else's problem unless I look internally. And I can tell you that when I did realize that we had no money in our savings, we had no plan, and it was very easy to realize why it is that these career politicians kept running roughshod all over the firefighters. So I had to come in and I had to do some things that people didn't want exposed, didn't want done, because that's how you fix problems. You acknowledge them, you treat people with respect, and you actually deliver results. And so I'm very proud of the work that we have put together, the coalition we've built, the money we've raised, and we're not stopping. We're going to keep going.
Yeah, that's the way you have to think about this. You have to think that you're always in growth mode because you just never know what's going to happen next, and you have to be ready for that. Trust me, I've been there.
It's always the proverbial, hey, let's send out ridiculous lies and text. And I tell people, I said, we've been here before. When you take on a corrupt Democrat mayor, the previous one, and they did everything possible. And I told them, I said, well, you can't stop people from doing stupid things, but you can control the actions that you do and what it is that you are supposed to be getting done.
Yeah, people ask me all the time about getting attacked, and I just say, well, you just have to admit to yourself, do opposition research on your own family and yourself, But that really doesn't matter, because even if there's nothing there, they're going to make something up and try to use that too. So just be ready.
Well, listen, I have found more about I've found out more about myself that I didn't know about listening to people that have nothing to offer other than to just the campaign season. But usually, you've been this, Colonel, a long time. I tell people, if people are attacking you, making up lies, and the more desperate they get, that just means that you're doing something right.
Oh, absolutely right. And you got these endorsements. The endorsements don't get people to go out to vote any more than yard signs do. But I saw you got Mattress Max
Yes.
backing, and that's not an easy thing to do.
It's not.
Especially if you're located right there. I've tried to get his financial support and endorsement before, but I wasn't in Texas either. So, so that's good.
Great man.
That's good.
Yeah, he's Mattress. He is a staple here in Houston, and he gives back to the community so much. When the bureaucracy gets, and when people, are giving excuses as to why we're not getting resources to the people during disasters, it's Mattress Mac that literally gets his own high water vehicles, opens up his store, feeds people, and he does exactly the opposite of what we've seen in Harris County government, which is getting things done.
Yeah, and when he backs somebody, that sends a message across ideological and partisan lines, and it's going to pull more voters to whoever he's behind, regardless of what their party is. And I think that's important in today's environment. And you mentioned that in your materials and in the videos I've seen of you, and even in the show here today a little bit. And that is that when we're elected, people like us, we expect to be the elected official for everybody, even the people that don't vote for us. But today's environment is even more challenging than when I stepped into the political arena the first time in 2013. It is very challenging today. And I know that you're addressing that in your campaign. What are some of the ways that you're approaching that so that you not stay away from the fights, but engage in the fights as necessary, but with the intent of winning voters over? Because your message really is not just to one party.
Well, you said it best. I mean, our responsibility, if we are elected, comes with trust. We have to earn that. And even the people that didn't vote for you, you still have a moral, ethical, and legal responsibility to ensure that what you're doing is in the best interest of the Harris County residents. And how we move forward is the most important thing to me. And so what I tell people all the time is if you don't have to lie and you don't have to pander. Now, I grew up one of five. We grew up in West University Place, Texas, went to St. Vincent de Paul, straight Jesuit. We're a Catholic family. One brother's a priest, the other lawyers and tech execs and financial planners. And so when people feel like they have to justify their own existence, it's because they're not usually comfortable with who they are. And I usually sit on the other side of the table here because we run our political program and we have people that want to be in service and elected office. Mm-hmm. Come talk all the time. And the one piece of advice I give them is I said, come into the arena with a set of principles that you believe is the right thing. And that way you're not using somebody else's talking points. And that if you need to move 5 inches to the left, they know where to find you. Be consistent. If they need to move you 5 inches to the right, because ultimately, at the end of the day, what matters most is getting the job done and serving the people we're supposed to serve.
Yeah. Do you find it a very positive experience when you're willing to just listen to folks, even the ones that might be mad?
I tell people, listen, the best training you can get from this is with, firefighters are from all different backgrounds, but the one thing in common that makes us the most unique is it's really much like the military and much like the police, very difficult to explain to somebody that has not been involved. They'll go out there and they'll die for somebody that they don't know. What do you think they're willing to do for somebody that is right next to them, serving alongside them? The level of courage that I see in firefighters is what motivates me every single day. And it's a remarkable sign of the times that if you focus on messaging, you focus on what it is that you're supposed to be doing, be honest, and tell people that, sometimes it's not a direct answer. Sometimes it's, we have to work towards a solution. It's moving this thing forward, not sliding it back. It's measuring results based on objective reality, not based on on rhetoric to fit my narrative, because that allows things to actually get accomplished.
Yeah, absolutely right. Well, we got to take another break, Marty. When we come back, I want to dive into a little deeper on the crime aspect and your proposed policies that you're going to propose, and what is going on, especially in the Houston area right now, because it's not good. I don't think it's very good. We'll be right back with Marty Lancton, candidate for county judge in Harris County, Texas.
You woke up with a sore throat and a low-grade fever. You know you are getting sick, so here's your choices. You can get sicker and miss work, try to see a doctor this week, or sit hours in a crowded waiting room at urgent care.
I have a smarter option for you. Open your medical emergency kit. Match your symptoms to doctor-recommended prescription in your booklet and take the right meds now and get well faster.
This is not a first aid kit. It's like having an urgent care in your home. It includes doctor-prescribed medications to treat over 39 medical issues like respiratory infections, strep throat, pneumonia, UTIs, and more.
No waiting to see the doctor and no standing in line at the pharmacy. It's right here.
Every home should have at least one medical emergency kit, and here's how to order.
Go to worldviewhealthcare.com. Your kit to treat dozens of common and serious illnesses is rushed to your door. worldviewhealthcare.com. That's worldviewhealthcare.com.
The emergency kit available at worldviewhealthcare.com. Make sure you don't have to go to urgent care. I got pneumonia. I didn't have to go. I took this last year. Stayed at home. Went to bed.
Crime and public safety is the number one priority. That is why I'm proud to be endorsed by the Houston Police Officers Union, the Harris County Deputies Organization, the Metro Police, and so many more that protect our great county and city. But we have to be talking. We have to be working together. And when you have distrust, the easiest thing in politics is for somebody to say it's their problem, it's their fault, and nothing ever gets solved. You've got to get the people that are in the room that are focused on the strategies of fixing the county government. We are spending money where it does not need to go.
Welcome back to the Rob Maness Show. It's Truth Thursday here, and we're live on Worldview Tube and our X Spaces simulcast. And my guest today is that man right there, candidate for Harris County Judge in Houston, Texas, Marty Lancton. He's the president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association, has been a firefighter for his entire career, and is a public servant that's now vying for major elected office. I mean, this is a big job. Third largest county in the country, biggest county in the state. The Speaker of the House says that 40% of what he deals with is what that county either does or doesn't do. And that's a big chunk of what's happening in Texas. Marty, welcome back. I wanted to give you an opportunity to dive into some detail on what you're going to propose from a policy change perspective vis-a-vis crime. And those kind of things. But first of all, I guess what's your assessment of current policy and its impact on the crime rate today? Now, Houston's a blue city, obviously. I have lots of questions because I haven't talked to anybody from Houston in a while. But we see all these things going on in these blue cities around the country right now. So lots of questions there. But what do you see from a policy perspective that is causing this uptick?
Well, not to confuse the listeners, but, the county is not a blue county. It's actually a purple county. Yeah. And the city of Houston, inside of Harris County, is pretty solidly blue. However, I will say, with the change in the new mayor that was elected last year, his name is John Whitmire, and he's about a no-nonsense, get things done person. And he, wants to make sure that this stuff gets addressed. In fact, he was the chair of criminal justice in the Texas Senate, longest serving member under Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick. So it shows you what the Republican leadership in Texas have that faith. He's got the experience, and he's also got the relationships to address these. And so in the city, you're seeing a concentrated effort to focus on crime and public safety in the county. What you're seeing is we don't know. We don't even know what the current county judge stands for, other than bringing kids in front of commissioner's court and making them a sideshow. It's not acceptable. It's not okay. What we should be focused on is making sure that mothers don't feel scared when they go out at night, making sure mothers don't feel scared when they've got their kids and they're on the street. That's unacceptable in our society. And what we have to do is we have to, number one, speak up. If you're not standing with law enforcement and you're not standing with the people that are out there trying to make us safe, that undermines the very core function of focusing on reducing crime. And I can tell you that that's why the Harris County Deputies Organization that run the law enforcement in the unincorporated areas of the city of Houston, outside of Houston, that's why they have absolute confidence in leadership. They weren't given the resources and haven't been given the resources for a very long time. And when you look at the numbers, they need about 1,000 more deputies out there patrolling. But you can't do those things while you continue to spend money on social programs that are not the statutory or the requirements of being a county that operates on taxpayers' funds. That's the point. And so you have to, number one, be able to get on the streets and know what it is that the officers have to deal with. But you also, more importantly, have to have relationships to where you can utilize resources from different jurisdictions and get them into the room to where we're working together to address crime. Right now, they're not. Right now, you've got the county judge that is somewhere not talking and working with the state, not working with the governor to get DPS and to provide more resources to hit hotspots, not working with the mayor of the city of Houston to help with resources to where maybe we can combine resources to respond to people and help reduce crime, to get the other police agencies on the same page. But it takes that trust. And when you don't have it, you see what happens from a failed county leadership.
Yeah. So what's the working relationship between the city law enforcement and county law enforcement? Do you think this new mayor and you will be working together to help them operate as a cohesive team? Because obviously humans are humans, man. They move back and forth, and if the mayor's increasing law enforcement, then the criminals are going to stay outside the city as much as possible. It's and back and forth and those kind of things. So that's crucial. Do you see that you'll be able to be successful in partnering with him?
We've already seen that in the results. The previous mayoral administration, sued the firefighters. And I spent 8 years of my life focused on making sure that we fixed the problem instead of doing what the previous mayor did. Took them all the way to the Texas Supreme Court. We won, unanimous ruling. Took them to the legislature, passed bills unanimously with the help of the Speaker, Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, Governor Abbott. We went to the voters in Houston, who all overwhelmingly stood with the firefighters. And so we've seen what happens when people don't work together. And now with this current mayor, I can tell you that he's the one that had to resolve all the mess that was created under the previous one. So on day one of his administration, the very first meeting he had, his official meeting, was with me and my team. He ordered his team and I ordered my team to not come out of the room until we get a deal done. And he said he wanted it done in 60 days and by the end of February. Well, I can tell you, Carl, I'm so very glad that it happened to be a leap year that year, because we got it done by the end of February with this mayor's leadership. But it comes with taking shots. I mean, you have the Democratic Party that have already said that he's not doing something. He's not doing enough. He's doing exactly what you should do as the mayor, which is focused on getting the resources and the tools. And that's exactly what we will do when I become Harris County Judge. We are going to work with Mayor and the city of Houston. We are going to work with the other mayors in the other cities in Harris County. And we're going to bring our resources together, and not only for crime and public safety, but for emergency management. I can tell you, as being in the emergency response business, same problem. The easiest thing for people to do is to say they don't trust this person, and then nobody's getting what they need to serve the people. I am perfectly fine with people that don't agree with me to get into a room and to listen to what people have to say, because at the end of the day, it's not about me and it's not about them. It's about the people that we serve out in the community, and we have a responsibility to ensure we are leading instead of making excuses.
No wonder the politicians don't like you, Marty. That's a good
stories
thing.
I can tell, Colonel.
Yeah,
the stories I can tell.
I hear you. Hey, they still hate me. Most of them do. So, yeah, you're doing something right. So what are the types of things? Do you face a challenge, and does the city of Houston face a challenge of any vestiges of like sanctuary policies for illegals, those kinds of things, or this anti-federal law enforcement effort that we see in other parts of the country? Are you facing any of those types of challenges to make corrections on those?
Well, the county is. The county spends the majority of its time now trying to virtue signal and in trying to send messages out that have absolutely nothing to do with the truth, that don't have to do with protecting our community. As I said before, the victims of violent crimes need to be the ones that we are focused on and that we are protecting, not criminals. The stories that the victims and the families that tell me, who, by the way, who support me, who know it's time for us to change things up. It's very heartbreaking to hear when people are more focused on getting people on bond just to go out and reoffend. And you're talking about people that come over here illegally, commit violent crimes, and we somehow want to have quarter for them. That's unacceptable. And what are you going to tell the victims' families and the victim themselves? What we stand for is to follow the laws, is to do our job, is to enforce the laws, and to ensure that we're providing the resources. It is not our obligation or our choice whether or not we like a law, we don't like a law. And what I kind of tell people is if you put this in context, if there was a warrant out for your arrest and you're a citizen and they take you to jail, right? So
Right.
if you have an ICE detainer and you listen to the policies of the far left, they're saying, don't arrest them, don't do anything. So you're saying that people that are here illegally committing violent crimes should have more rights than the people who are here and who are supposed to have rights. It doesn't make any sense. And it's not about whether or not somebody is trying to be over the top. It is about being honest with people about what the laws are, what the responsibility is. But you couple that with the fact that what the Harris County government has done over the last few years was do something called the O'Donnell Decree, which basically allowed judges to let people out on bond, violent criminals out on bond, illegal violent criminals out on bond, just to go out and to reoffend and commit murder. Now, that is not a society or a county that I am going to operate under. That is not something that we stand for. And it is not something that I could look at my son or family and friends and say to myself, that isn't important to me. That is the most important thing to me. And we're going to fix that.
Yeah, I mean that's one of the things I think that the American people, when they voted for Donald Trump the second time in this historic reelection, only happened once before, and never had, and the last guy that did it wasn't contentious at all. Only because of his policies is Trump contentious, and his personality, I guess. I don't know, but that is a problem that has to be addressed with only the truth. And I like your approach about talk about the victims, talk about the families. There's not enough of that. I was just I read a great article. I can't remember. I think it might have been in the Blaze or Red State yesterday. It was actually talking about a young man that was in the church that was invaded the other day by Don Lemon and that crowd. And did a detailed article on him and how he felt and his experiences and what he saw. Every one of those victims ought to have a detailed article from an investigative reporter written on them and published, at least in the independent media, because the big media, they just want to focus on, these poor people. They came here to escape poverty or whatever, and we're being mean to them, and we've got to let them out of jail, even if they've raped and murdered women and children. And that is I'm not being hyperbolic or exaggerating. And that's what's sad about it.
That there's been so much hyper-politicization from the far left that, the truth no longer matters. And I tell people, go to, if you've been the victim of a violent crime, you've been victim of crime at all, you understand how vulnerable, how absolutely upsetting, angry, emotional toll that can't even imagine it takes on the family. And it's time to start telling their stories.
Yeah.
Listen, we have a justice system that says that it's supposed to be fair and that you have your day in court. But I'm going to tell you right now, where are the victims and the victims' families' rights? We shouldn't have a society where you have the people that perpetrate these crimes have more rights than the people that the victims that they just offended. This is backwards. And I'll tell you, the first thing that I hear, far left Democrats say is, oh, they've got feelings until they need police. It's funny. And then they wonder why it is that they're not there quick enough. And the reality is that this is an interconnected system that is a nation of laws, and our job is to be able to educate people on the truth. If you don't like the truth, you need to run for office, you need to change it. And
Exactly right.
I encourage people to do it. Even if you disagree with me, I say, what are you willing to do to affect change? And don't give me an excuse that it's too hard, because I've been told that my entire life. And every time I've been told I can't do something, I've told people, well, guess what? If you don't think I can do it, that means I can't disappoint you. And then don't pay attention to me.
Absolutely
But I promise
right. Well,
we
go
never
ahead.
stop. Nope.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we got to take one more break. When we come back, I want to talk about this transparency issue because you've got a big job ahead of you, Marty, in getting this government to be transparent and what it's doing with taxpayer dollars, from what I can tell. We'll be right back with Marty Lancton of Harris County, Texas, running for county judge.
Hello, I'm Brandon House. I want to thank you for all your support at wvwfoundation.com that helps make possible pushing out 24/7 content for free. Without your support, we'd have to put it all behind a paywall. But thanks to you and your support through our foundation, we're able to push it out for free as a broadcast service and broadcast ministry of WVW Foundation. Please consider going there and setting up an automatic monthly contribution, or go there and make an occasional contribution. If you prefer to support us through the mail, you'll find our mailing address there at wvwfoundation.com. You can also call and make your contribution over the phone by calling 901-825-0652. That's 901-825-0652. Again, all these details are available at wvwfoundation.com. Thank you for your support as we try to help people around the world understand the times through the lens of a Christian worldview.
Your tax money should be responsible to you. We have to be very transparent and open up the books. We cannot play the game where everybody is in their silo and nobody's talking. I was up at the legislature last year, and I not only advocated but testified to a bill that simply would allow Harris County residents to know where the $300 to $400 million excess toll road money is going. Now, why would anybody have a problem with that? That's the question that I have for your listeners.
Let me ask a quick question, then I want to get back to the phone.
I've made a show, and it's Truth Thursday. We're live on Worldview Tube and our X Spaces simulcast, and this is a good day for this type of discussion with a political candidate for a judge of the third largest county in the nation, first largest county in the state of Texas. Houston is the largest city there. We all know that's a blue city, and my guest is Marty Lancton, who is the president of the Houston Professional Firefighters Association and running for county judge there to essentially be the mayor of the third largest county of in the United States and largest county in Texas. And you got my attention with that one, Marty. All right, tolls and toll funds. I'm a big fan of opening those up because I used to live just a few miles from the largest toll bridge in the United States of America, the Causeway Bridge across Lake Pontchartrain, and that was the most non-transparent fund that you could ever find. But until now, I found a bigger one because Houston. I've driven through Houston many times, and I'm very familiar with the toll system there. Y'all are getting a lot of money, and if you've got $400 million hidden from the people, that's a lot of trouble.
That's annually, by the way, $300 to $400 million excess revenue a year. Here's the problem with the county government. They're not trust. You have to be able to develop that trust. If you want to start getting resources to where they need to go, it starts with trust. And what I can tell you is that I've been up in the legislature advocating not just for firefighter issues, but for issues in my community. the commitment I've always made to people is that if you're trying to better the community, I will help. We have a lot of experience and knowledge because we got put through the ringer, and it taught us, how the world actually works in politics. And spoiler alert, it doesn't work. That's the problem. So at the end of the day, Senator Paul Betancourt, who is a great senator here in Texas, representing the north kind of side of Houston, Harris County, put together a bill that said basically one of the key components was you have to open up the books and show us where you're spending the $300 to $400 million a year. Now, I am shocked to tell you I'm not shocked to tell you actually that the county commissioners fought that and did not want this bill to pass. They put everything in the kitchen sink behind it. And I said, why in the world would you have a problem with telling your constituents where you're spending the money? I'm confused. So at the end of the day, was up in the legislature, testified, got out of the Senate and went over to the House, testified in the House, and really, asked the simple questions. And the reality of it is you have to understand the kind of the root cause. People say, well, who controls the money? I said, well, interesting question. You have the Harris County Commissioners Court. That's right now a 4-1 Democrat to a Republican seats. And they gavel out as the Harris County Commissioners Court. And then they gavel in as the board of directors for HECTRA. Now, they split up the money. How? We don't really know. Where it goes, we don't really know. But then they apparently get to use it. And I'm telling people, if you're doing something that's benefiting your area, your precinct, I'd want my people to know. And so it's a very, very interesting world. But that's the problem, is that if it's good, it's good. Our job is to call a ball, and a strike. And if it's right, it's right. It's wrong, it's wrong. But hiding the ball every day doesn't do anything, because we're not getting any of the projects that they have promised to get done. We're in Houston, where we get natural disasters all the time. And we have known about these issues, and these career politicians continue to say that we care about these things, but yet have done nothing to actually fix it.
Yeah, and this issue is bigger, obviously, than just toll road funds and everything. And one of the questions I have in my mind, since I've got somebody from that area there, is, has the flooding infrastructure, the drainage infrastructure, been upgraded since Hurricane Harvey? Has the work been done? That I know there's been a lot of money appropriated for it, but has the work been done, and is it working?
No, not enough, not even close. And let me give you, for instance, one of the critical roles of the county judge should be is that after Hurricane Harvey, and I was on the streets, I was in the boats with my men and women rescuing people, putting them on 610. I'm born and raised here, and I've seen the challenges we've had. And at the end of the day, in Texas, there's a position called the land commissioner, which is a statewide elected official, probably one of the most positions people really don't know about, but is a pretty influential and powerful position for many reasons, but for this one in particular. All of the federal money for disaster relief and for disaster recovery after a disaster goes through the Texas Land Commissioner. Well, when I tell people I call a ball, and a strike, it doesn't matter what side of the aisle you're on. The previous land commissioner, prior to the one that's here, gave $0 for flood mitigation to Harris County. Well, it didn't matter if you're a Republican or Democrat. That was wholly unacceptable. And when the new land commissioner was elected, she appointed me to her transition team. And the number one responsibility that I advocated for and told the commissioner and the team and all those others that were help serving in this team was, you have to get the resources to the people in Harris County, regardless of all of the distrust between county leaders and the previous mayor at the time. I said, we've got to get this stuff, resources there. Dr. Don Buckingham is an amazing person, working with U.S. Congressman Dan Crenshaw and others. In 90 days of her being in office, got $800 million in flood mitigation dollars to a agency called Harris County Flood Control District, which falls under the Commissioner's Court. And as I sit here today, the county is now going to at risk to give hundreds of millions of dollars back because they couldn't get the permitting done and put the shovels in the ground. Not to mention the fact that the Harris County voters voted for a $2.5 billion flood bond years ago. And to date, they have not started these projects. And there is so many vulnerable areas. One that I've been up to many times, it's called the Kingwood area. It's in North Houston. They had 15 fatalities during Hurricane Harvey. They have seen the worst of the worst, and they continue to do it and keep asking the Commissioner's Court to focus on the issues in the infrastructure, work with the city of Houston, get these projects built. And you go talk to any Kingwood resident, and they'll tell you what happened after the flood bond was approved. You had Commissioner's Court change their definition of what they think equity is, and now have not put projects in one of the hardest hit areas in Harris County. It makes no sense. And they continue to spend millions of dollars on doing study after study after study after study. Enough with the studies. We don't need studies. Yeah. I was there on the ground. We know the impact that it has. It's time to get help to the people that need it.
Yeah, that's really interesting and confusing, but we have gone through a time in our country, Marty, of political decision making by elected officials and bureaucrats based on not on reality, not on dollars and cents, not on what the people vote for, but on things like diversity, equity, and inclusion and those kind of things. And it invariably leads to spending hundreds of millions of dollars, if not billions of dollars, on the wrong thing. And then the people providing those dollars are left out in the cold by and large. It's a very unfortunate. Well, I hope you get elected. I got to ask you this question. We're down to the last 4 minutes. So this question is, what are your first three things you're going to talk about on your first day in your meetings?
Well, first thing we're going to do is we're going to say it is a new day, it is a new county, and there is a new direction. We are absolutely going to call in all of our partners on day one and bring them into the fold so that we can figure out what it is that we need to do to get the resources where they need to go. We are going to open up the books. We are going to take an audit of every department, and we are going to be honest about the needs of the community. We cannot continue to spend money where it's not the role of county government, even if it is a singularly good intended item. We have a responsibility to the taxpayers. We have to be honest. So not only are we going to bring people in on day one, but we're going to send a message across Texas. We are here to work with our partners. We are here to solve problems. We are going to get it done. And I look forward to serving the residents of Harris County.
Absolutely. Well, you have the endorsement of retired Colonel Rob Maness, the chairman of Gator PAC, my political action committee. And we look forward to what you're going to do to get the county government on track and partnering, and especially on law enforcement, infrastructure, transparency, all of the things that are most important. And we wish you well. Tell folks how they can help you, where they need to go to get you some help. Because, folks, you cannot win races in politics without money. Go ahead, Mark.
That's right. And when you got machines that from outside interest groups, instead of people here locally that understand the issues, it's even more important. You can go to www.Lancton, Lancton, for harriscounty.com. Please, if you can volunteer, if you can donate, it doesn't matter if it's $5 or $10 or whatever it is. Every little bit helps. We're going to continue to run a campaign that taxpayers should expect, that people care enough to get results. So go there to find more information. You can find me on social media, and I really appreciate you having me on today.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate your time. This has been very enlightening and educational for our audience, too. We appreciate it. Good luck. Stay in the fight. Marty Lancton, ladies and gentlemen, running for Judge, Harris County, the county that's the third largest county in the country, largest in the state, huge budget, huge number of personnel, huge amount of infrastructure. And they're floundering right now because of weak leadership. And this man will provide the leadership needed to tell the truth and get the job done. Those are the two most important things. All right. So Monday is More War Monday. Amber Smith, former combat Army helicopter pilot, author, and a Trump administration from Trump 45, Department of Defense, Assistant Secretary, I believe, will be with us on More War Monday. I'll see you then here on the Rob Maness Show, live on Worldview Tube and our X Spaces simulcast.